Hello! Today I have MoYou-London Kitty Collection 12 and 13 to show you. These are essentially the XL and regular size versions of the same plate. So one of the popular things to do with nail stamping is to take a butterfly image and stamp it onto your finger and then turn your finger into butterfly wings essentially. And doing this, how you do this determines the sort of image that you need. So if I want to really make my finger look like it is a butterfly wing, one whole side of a butterfly, I may need an image like this, especially right now my nails are shorter. I may need a smaller image to be able to get all of that detail on there and really get that butterfly look. If I wanted to do something like that with this image, I'm not really going to be able to do the same thing on my nail. It's just going to be way too big. So there are different reasons why you would want to get a plate like this. And one of them is to actually do the whole butterfly wing thing. And if that's the case, unless you have really, really big nails, I'm going to suggest that you probably want to go with the regular size. But notice, like with this, I can just get this portion here onto my nail, and that's going to create a really cool background pattern that isn't necessarily going to look like a butterfly per se, but I could still do really cool things with colors or glitters underneath and have that over with a black stamping polish or a silver stamping polish and create a really cool effect. So if you want to play with cool effects like that, you're maybe going to want to look more at the XL plate for your stamping needs. But what I don't want you to do is end up ordering this one thinking you're going to be able to get the whole butterfly wing on your finger and then be sad that you can't do that. So that's the main reason why I want to compare these two for you. All right, so now that we've seen the relative size, and actually I think this time I'm going to just right up front show you that these wings are on the regular sized plate, which is 12, Kitty Collection 12. This is what is going to be about equivalent to your standard Konad, and you can see here that in Kitty 11, or excuse me, 13, which is your XL version, those are going to be a lot bigger than your standard Konad image. So yeah, that's either going to be a good thing or a bad thing depending on what you want to do with the plate. All right, so now that we've talked about the size issues, let's go ahead and look and see what each of these plates offers. So this again is Kitty Collection 12, and it's the regular sized version. So what they've done here is they've given you a lot of different kinds of butterfly images that you can play around with. So instead of just one, I think basically on the other plates that I've seen, there's pretty much only one basic design, and then they'll have different sizes that you can play with. But this gives you different kinds of butterfly wings that you can do, and I think that's kind of cool. This almost reminds me of like a moth wing, and again, that would be just a really beautiful background image if you wanted to use it for that, and your nails are small enough on this plate. I like that both plates give you a few little butterfly images to just play with and have butterflies on your nails. So you can have like a little butterfly, half of a butterfly landing on a flower on your nail. This is more like, reminds me more of like a monarch butterfly, and you've got, you know, the cool dot of color that you can put there. And this one is similar, but you've got a different kind of ridge with more little ovals instead of the kind of lacy ridging there. And here you've got almost like a water marble butterfly. This is a little bit more linear, this little butterfly. And then this is just a pretty flower that you can stamp on your nail. And you may say, well, I've got lots of pretty flowers that I can stamp on my nails. And that's true. You probably do. But what makes this one a little bit different is that what's showing through on this is your base polish, and you're actually stamping the other polish. So those are a little bit more rare, and it gives you an opportunity to have a polish that doesn't stamp well end up looking like you're using it as your stamping polish. Here's just a little cloud of butterflies you can use. And this, again, this again has more of a mothy kind of feel to me. It's heavier, not quite as delicate, and still very, very pretty. This is more swirly and light. And then you've got a really open one here. This almost doesn't even look butterfly-ish to me at all. So I think you could use this for tons of things. And then we've got a butterfly on a rose, and here we've got more of an open butterfly on a more open rose. So if you want to lead light that, that would be beautiful. And this, if you don't really want to lead light, but you just want solid color, that one's really beautiful. This is like a leopard butterfly kind of look, and then you've got a much more kind of angular look to this one. So lots of different things you can do here, and lots of different cool background patterns if you want to use them, not so much as butterflies, but just as background patterns. You know, stamp this way, and is that going to look like a butterfly? No, probably not, but you're going to get some really cool texture in your manicure on that. And the same thing with some of these. So a plate like this is a really good way to start experimenting with double stamping, background stamping, and then having other things that you want to stamp over it. All right, and then of course the XL version is always going to have fewer images because the images are bigger, so there's not as much room. So they try to give you basically the equivalent, and you just lose a couple in the meantime. So you've got, again, the same kind of differences in style. So you've got the one that's a little bit more angular, the one that's a little bit more swirly. You've got your leopardy kind of one, and this one that is just, it's like an animal print more than even a butterfly almost, but still like a moth. You've got your more open monarch one, and a very lacy kind of, you know, typical, but with the heavier feel to the colors there. Then you also have the same, those are the exact same images on here, but just a little bit bigger. So if you've got bigger, longer nails, and this one is going to get lost, this little butterfly, you know, here is going to get lost on your nails. This is going to be a little bit bigger and maybe show up more on your longer nails. So the one have we lost here? This XL version doesn't have this one here, the more solid butterfly and rose, and it doesn't have these butterflies. It does have that version of the flower there. I think it doesn't have this on there, this one on there, from what I can tell. And the question is just, do you want the whole image to be able to show on your finger, or do you want more of a background effect? Okay, I'm going to test these out for you. I'm going to stamp them, and I will be back with the stamping test. So what I did was I stamped the image from the XL plate and the regular size image, one on each nail, so I could show you. And I wanted to show you this on a nail because I think when you get patterns like this, it can be difficult to really picture what this is going to look like on your nail. So actually, this is the regular sized version. You can see that it definitely covers my nails right now when they're short. Here is the XL version of that same image, and so they stamp well. There's no problem there. And if you look at the two of them together, you can see that the dot is a little bit bigger. There's a little bit more space, you know, between the lines. So I'm getting, this nail is a little bit longer than this one right now, but still I'm getting more stripes on this one than on this one. So if I want a more open kind of pattern, this is what I'm going to get with the XL, and the regular size images are going to be a little bit more compact. But when you look though, you can see, I mean, you're pretty much getting the same thing. You want to take into account the size difference, but you're still getting you know, a beautiful pattern. And another thing I wanted to show you just was how look at how pretty this looks with, I did a 180 with the image, and look at how pretty, you know, those patterns are going to look together just in different angles. So you can do lots of stuff there with them. All right, for my second test, I chose this one because you might be very interested in trying to get the edge as well, not just the pattern bit. So here for this one, I stamped, this is the regular size image. And sorry, I matted it to try to get rid of the glare. There's still a fair amount of glare here, but you can see that, you know, it stamps well, no problems there. And you can see that you can also get the ridge, and it does look butterfly edgy, you know. Then for the XL plate, here's the XL nail, okay, and you can see my nails are curved here, but you can see that the edge, it gives it a very different effect, the edge here. than on this one, where you kind of can see the whole butterfly pattern. Better way to show you that is this. You can see here that this, the kind of edge takes up a larger space on the nail, versus here it is more just of a kind of a lacy edge to the rest of it. And I'm going to have a still image of this up on my blog in case it's a little bit hard to see, but you can see how here it does actually seem more like an edge on this one, and this sort of takes up a lot more space on the nail, so it's more of an overall pattern rather than just an edge on this one. Okay, so again, I'm going to have stills of these on my blog so you can see, and the links are all down below in the description box. And thank you for